So, good afternoon, friends. We are here today to. There have been lots of messages, floating on WhatsApp. Just the other day, we had, you know, uh, a message or a video showing that Eiffel Tower is, being able to be. People are able to view Eiffel Tower from London, and that just went viral. Then we are getting a lots of. It basically turned out that it was not really Eiffel Tower. It was a TV transmission station. Then there are some messages, if you've been part of groups, various groups, there are there's a message floating around which says that if you are on WhatsApp, and if you're not able to, if you're sharing wrong information, you may be prosecuted under IPC, and there might be action taken against you. So since there is a lot of fake messages or maybe rumors spreading around, we thought of, especially Dinesh ji over here, thought of taking up a information session where he will show you how we can stop forwarding fake or maybe rumors, and identify whether the messages are correct or not. So with this, let's start the seminar. Over to the speaker. A little bit about our speaker. Dinesh ji is part of Chamber of Tax Consultants IT committee since last 5 years now. Dinesh ji, 5-6 years.
Yes, 5 years. 5 years.
Yes, 5 years. He's been chairman for most of them, most of the years. And he's been our founder and the inspiration, not founder possibly, but our inspiring, he's our inspiration. And yes, with this short introduction, let us just hand it over to Dinesh ji. Dinesh ji, please go ahead and take the session.
Sure. Thank you, Maitri, for those kind words. And as Maitri rightly said, this is more of an info session, because I don't claim to be expert on WhatsApp or don't claim to be expert on fake messages. But what I've done is I've done some study, I've done some research, and I've come up with a short presentation. So fake news has been a major concern for the society, for the government, for the judiciary. You must be reading news articles, this is something which we are dealing with, and it rose exponentially after the onset of coronavirus. So based on my personal experience, I just realized that the number of fake messages is going up every day. And then, there has to be something, I need to do something to at least create a presentation and share it with my community, especially the CA community. So that was the objective behind it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to limit my presentation to WhatsApp only, because social media, there are many channels. There is Facebook, there is Twitter, there is YouTube. But my presentation is limited to WhatsApp, because I think that is one medium where it is very easy to make a message viral and propagate a fake communication. So this is one. The second thing is, whatever solutions I'm going to give are already given on the website of the WhatsApp. So it's not something, I'm not creating something new. These are all the easy solutions provided by WhatsApp. The only thing is I'm going a little deep into it, and maybe I am drawing your attention towards them. Yeah, here. So what is a fake message? So as we understand, a fake message is something which is not true or which is false. But in terms of journalism, I think they use three terms. One is misinformation, the other is disinformation, and the third is malinformation. Now, only recently I came to know that even an information which is based on reality can be a malinformation if it is used to inflict harm on a person or organization or a country. So even a true information can be a fake news as far as our social media is concerned. Misinformation is something which is false, but which is not created with the intention of causing a harm. So it can be harmless, small message, but which is false. And then there is a disinformation, which is a deliberate attempt to propagate a false piece of news or information. So these are the kinds of messages, which are floating around the social media. I'll quickly give you, 2-3 examples. messages. One is this, let me drag down here. Yeah. So this is a very frequent phenomena, people post a message, saying that it is from NASA, and then this is how India looked from the Earth. This is again a harmless piece of information, but it's not true. And then this is another piece. Now you realize that this is a photo of a news appearing on TV, and okay, a true post, it's not false. But as I go forward, I'll show you that how easy it is to create a fake image, make it viral. Shutdown will be extended to 4th May. Greater detail, because and my WhatsApp groups were made admin only. Every admin posted this message and said that tonight 12 onwards, the Disaster Management Act has been implemented, and nobody can put any post pertaining to coronavirus, and it is a punishable offense. And this was like instant, almost I could see 10 of my WhatsApp groups being made admin only, which means only an admin can post and others cannot post. So I'll take it up as a separate case study. And so these are three kinds of three examples I've given you. Let us now just think, why do we forward a message? And before I take it up, let me take a pause for a minute, and I'll ask Maitri and Alok to quickly launch the poll. So I would like you to answer. There are 4 options given, and you please click which is the reason. What is the reason you think you forward a message? Alok, can we quickly launch the poll, please?
Dinesh ji, there seems to be some problem with the poll. I'm not able to put it live. That's what I've been trying. I'm just not able to put it live. Seems to be some problem with the login. I'm not able to put it live at all.
Okay.
We'll have to skip this part right now.
So we'll skip that. No issues.
Yes.
So fine. We would love to do that, but now we'll skip it. And then what I'll do now is I did a little bit of research, and I came across this report by a site called Statistica, and they have come up with a study, a study with a very large sample in India and other countries. And these are 3 main reasons why people forward a message. Number 1 reason is that it might benefit others. So 48% people responded saying that, it might benefit others, so I'm forwarding it. 13% said that it might benefit others to be safe. I think this is the reason why today a lot of messages are being forwarded. Because of the corona threat, people think, any message which might benefit others to be safe, let me forward it without checking whether it is true or not. And 19% is people think that the mainstream media will not cover this news. This is something which will appear only on social media. So let me share it with my community, with my connects. So these are 3 major reasons. You may now consider whether these are the reasons you forward a message, or you have some other reason. Maybe you can share me over a chat that you think there is some other reason why I forward a message. Now I'll talk about 4 ways to spot a fake post. Number 1, you see this double arrow, gray icon. Now this shows that this message has been frequently forwarded, more than 5 times. So when you get a message from a person, you know that, okay, Alok has sent me a message. So I can really go back to him and ask him, Alok, what is this? Can you explain it to me? But when a message is forwarded, you know that Alok has received message from someone else and he is forwarding it to me. But when you see this double arrow, I think it's very difficult to keep the trace that who has forwarded. The origin is very doubtful to establish. So whenever you see this message with double gray arrow, you just stop. It is frequently forwarded. It may or may not be true. And as per WhatsApp website, most of the fake news often goes viral. So if it is going viral, it may be fake. I'm not saying it is fake. There are higher chances that this is fake. So please look for this double arrow, gray arrow, and then just stop. Do not forward it. Just try to verify it. I'll come to the next part. Just Google it. I think it's very simple, If you get a message, you just go to Google and say, okay, India lockdown will be extended. Now I just done that. And you see the very first message which Google has thrown is, it is a fact check by Times of India and it is false. Now you can click on this and you can further study. Okay, the full details will come to you why it is fake. So it's very simple. You can just Google it. Now, WhatsApp is already working on a feature whereby any message which is frequently forwarded, you will get a search icon. And when you click on that, it will probably automatically open Google and show you the result. But till it comes, you can definitely do it yourself. You can Google writing down few, words from the sentence and see the result, what it shows. The third thing, now I'll take little more time to describe this and more in the context of our CA and tax community, which is verify from the authentic sources. Now, what are the authentic sources? One is the official website of the government authority or source. And second is official Twitter handle of the government authority or the source. Whenever there is a deadline for filing a tax return or making a payment, there is a flurry of activity among our community, and mostly it is related to date extension. I've seen it, last 2 years, especially, and the fact is the dates have been extended, but there is a lot of fake news around this topic where people just, create and there are even, cases where a fake date extension notification is created and it is circulated. So as far as news about our community is concerned, tax and law, I think these two, it's very easy to officially verify the authenticity of the news. I'll take first case, Corona. Now, there's a lot of information floating around about Corona. And instead of just forwarding whatever comes to you, the best thing is to go to this mygov.in/COVID-19. This is one-stop website by the Government of India. It has got facts, it has got helpline, it has got the mythbusters, everything that you can think of, and official information is covered in this website. Now, when I talk about tax and law, then obviously whenever there is a date extension, you can definitely go to the website of Income Tax Department, or you can go to the website of CBEC or GSTN or MCA and verify the source. It's pretty easy for us. The problem is that such notifications or circulars appear after a lag of 2-3 days. Now, for that, the alternate is you can go to the Twitter handle of that particular government authority and check whether it is appearing there or not. Most of the government departments, rather I should say all of them, have a Twitter handle. And I have observed that the tweet is posted almost immediately. Whenever there is a meeting of the GST Council, the result or whatever decision they have taken is first put on Twitter, and it almost comes as soon as the meeting is over, a tweet is there on the website. So this is one authentic source you can always use, and maybe after 2-3 days you can check the website where the official notification or circular will appear. Now let's talk about Twitter. Now Twitter is also a social media platform. Everybody can go there and open any account. Now here is a suggestion for you. You always look for blue tick. Now whenever against a name a blue tick is appearing, it shows that this is a verified badge. This is a verified Twitter account. So Twitter has a system of verifying an account. It takes some time, and currently they have put it on hold. But you see, almost all government Twitter handles would be verified. So whenever you see a Twitter account with a blue badge, you be sure that this is authentic. I'll show you some examples. Now see, this is the Twitter handle of Ministry of Health. And here is a blue tick. This is Mumbai Police. This is BMC. So remember to rely on any tweet from an account which is a blue tick, the blue badge. Just to give you an example that how an account with the same name can be not authentic. Now you see both accounts have the same name, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. And the one on the left hand side has a blue tick. The one on the right hand side has no blue tick. So this is not authentic. This is created in January 2020 by somebody, maybe an individual from New Delhi, whereas this is the official Twitter handle of the institute. So this is a simple trick, you can be mindful of what you're looking at and don't rely on any tweet which is not from a blue badge. I mean, you may rely, but after maybe verifying with some other source. So this is second. The third thing is fact-checking website. I'll take little time to now explain here the International Fact-Checking Network. Now, this is a non-profit organization, IFCN, and they have a charter. They have a code of conduct for all the organizations who want to do fact-checking. Fact-checking is more of a journalistic activity, but nowadays it is turning out into a technical activity also. So any organization which has got these two capabilities, the technical resources and the human resources for journalism, can apply to IFCN, and IFCN would conduct an audit and they'll give accreditation. So there's a website which lists, if you go to Wiki also and check for IFCN, you will see that for each country they have listed that these are the organizations or media companies which are IFCN accredited. Now, every social media company is today now worried about fake news, and they are taking steps to check it, or at least put it, just put it in check. So Google, Twitter, LinkedIn, every company is appointing these media agencies to do some fact checking. I've given these 4 names. One is Webcoof. This is by Bloomberg. Alt News has become very famous. It's on Twitter mainly. Fact Crescendo is a Aurangabad-based company, which is a vernacular. So they will do the fact checking and they'll post their result in several Indian languages. And then India Today is also one of the fact checking organizations. Now, I had opportunity to talk to the founder of Fact Crescendo, Mr. Vinod Rathi, and he gave me some insights as to what they do. Now, he mentioned that anybody can give them a post to do fact checking. So every day they get about 1,000 such posts. Obviously, they cannot check everyone, but then based on their judgment, they'll pick up a few and they'll do the fact checking. Now they have resources all over India. So if a fact has to be checked, let's say in some part of Meerut, there'll have somebody in Meerut who will go to the source. So maybe he'll go to the local police station and do the verification. So that is one part. And second is they have some 60 technology tools by which they try to verify the accuracy of the post. So it could be as simple as Google reverse image lookup, where they can verify whether the image is original or it has been morphed or it has been edited. So you can always look up one of these websites, and I'll just click on this to show you. Here it is. So the moment you open it, they will be putting the top stories of the day. Now see. Now these are the fake news which they have tried to investigate and come up with their answers. No, WHO has not released a global lockdown timeline for COVID. Old Philippines. So you may always, look up one of these fact-checking websites. So these are the 4 methods by which you can do a small fact check, before forwarding a message. Now let us take few examples Now, this is something which I did, so I'm going to share it with you. So this is a message which I received about a week ago, and this was a voice message. And it said it is message from the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Paramveer Singh. And the voice message said that nobody in the building can take even evening stroll, and everybody who goes out of the building gate, the security guard will take down his name and number and share with police. So it was a very frightening message. So I just thought whether it's true or not. The first thing I checked up is Mr. Param Singh the current Commissioner of Police? Yes. So Mr. Paramveer Singh is the current Commissioner of Police. The next thing what I did was I went to Twitter and I opened the official Twitter handle of Mumbai Police. And the very first post, the very first tweet said that an audio message being circulated about CP Mumbai Police is fake. So do not circulate. So it was very easy. Something which was claimed to be from the police commissioner, very quickly, Mumbai Police put it on the Twitter saying that it is fake. So this is one example where Twitter came to help very quickly. This is second, no coronavirus post permitted. This is something which Maitri also spoke, and it said that tonight, 12 midnight onwards, Disaster Management Act has been implemented. And because of which, no citizen is allowed to post any update or share any forward related to coronavirus. And it is a punishable offense. Now, very interestingly, this post also had a link from a website called livelaw.in. And it says Center seeks Supreme Court direction that no media should publish COVID-19 news. I'm going to cover this in little greater detail because this is very important. So Webkoof has again, done the fact checking, and this is the link. I'll be sharing the presentation with all of you later. And it clearly says that this is a fake news and there is no such restriction. The report is very long. You can go through that. What I've done is I have just picked up 4 points to share with you. Point number 1 is no question of act being implemented from midnight tonight, because Disaster Management Act was invoked on March 24. And this message went viral yesterday. So this is fact number 1. Fact number 2 is, as per the Disaster Management Act, there is no provision that mentions that apart from government department, no other citizen can post anything updated to any news. There is no such provision in the Disaster Management Act. So very clearly, it is not true. The third thing is the link which is given from the live law. That article says, it specifically talks about a case in the Supreme Court, and it is about telecast by media outlets. It has got nothing to do with post by ordinary citizen. So while the live law article which is being given along with the post is true, the context is entirely different. This is third. And the fourth one is the Supreme Court has actually considered this particular case on March 31st, and it has very categorically expressed that they do not want to interfere with free discussion about the pandemic. So this is the decision of the Supreme Court. Every citizen is free to talk about pandemic. But again, it is duty of every citizen not to spread a fake message or fake news. So this was something which I wanted to cover in great detail because of the propensity with which it came yesterday across all WhatsApp groups. This is our favorite, GSTR 9 date extension, because it got extended so many times. So this is an image which got circulated saying that the date is being extended from this date to this date. And again, if you go to the Twitter handle of CBIC, it very clearly says that this is fake. So I think in our case, Twitter is very effective medium to check authenticity of any tax or law related news. That's my strong recommendation to all of you. Very easy. You can always install Twitter and then subscribe to these Twitter accounts of all official government Twitter accounts. Now, I'll just give you 4 simple actions, before I end this presentation. Now, this is something which everybody can do without any difficulty. Very first is do not forward if you're not sure. Just because you received it and you feel that this is something which will benefit others, do not share it. If it is frequently forwarded, you should doubt it further. So any simple act by us to forward it, makes it viral and the rumor gets spread, And such rumors have wide ramifications. They create hatred in communities. They create stress among individuals and communities. So do not forward if you're not sure. That is the first thing which each of us can do. Next thing is do not rely on images and videos. Just because you get an image on the top of which there is a logo of World Health Organization does not make it authentic. Today, even a child can edit any image. So as far as I'm concerned, I have come to look at every image with suspicion. And I would advise you also to do the same. And same thing is true for videos. While videos can be edited and morphed, but what is happening is videos are being circulated out of context. So when you see a video of, whales in Mumbai High or whales near Bombay, the video could be right, but it may not be near Bombay High, because I read somewhere that Bombay High is a platform from which photography is not allowed. Correct. So while the video may be true, it may not be from Bombay High. It may not be recent. So images and videos is something we should look at with suspicion and do not forward unless you have verified with some different source. Third thing which I personally follow is if you come to know of any post which is worth sharing, you share the link rather than the image. So if you get a post which says there's an extension of financial year or there's an extension of due date filing, do not post the image. Go to Twitter or go to government website and you post the link. Now it is up to the recipient to judge whether the source is authentic or not, whether the source is believable or not. So always post the link rather than the image. And the fourth thing, which again, my personal experience, I do it. So when I get a fake message and if I verify and I come to know that it is fake, I always flag it back to the sender saying that this is fake. Please do not forward it further and do not send it to me in future. So at least the message should go to the person that he is forwarding a fake message. So these are 4 simple things which you can do to avoid the spread of fake messages. With this, I come to the end of my presentation. If there's any discussion around this topic, if you have any other solution which comes to your mind, most welcome to share it over the chat. If you have any question which I'm able to answer, I'll be glad to do that. Over to you, Maitri.
So anybody who has questions, can you please type it out in the question? There's a option of asking Q&A option given in your Zoom app. If you can do that, that would be great. Meanwhile, there have been people who have raised hands. Are these the people who want to talk? I'm going to allow them to talk and see if they are able. They wanted to ask question, or it was just like that. Just let me allow. Mr. Akhilesh, you have been allowed to talk. If you have any question, please ask. So no, I think it was not
All right.
I think it was just by mistake they have raised hands.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I guess Dinesh ji, this was mostly there are no questions. No, there are three questions. One second.
Okay.
Any settings in Google to turn on fact checking? Galaxy S10 is asking this question.
Okay. No, I do not think so, because I just typed the message and the first result that appeared said that it is fake. So I think Google may have created such algorithms to flag the fake message first, or flag the fact checking message first. So no, I don't think there is any setting required for this.
Okay. There is one more question which
Yeah.
asks, is there any source where we can post message and verify the authenticity of the same?
Yes. So as I mentioned, these websites, the fact checking websites, if you just go to those websites, they all have given their number where you can yeah. So all these websites allow you to inform them about any fake message, Webcoof, Alt News, Fact Crescendo, India Today, but do not expect them to revert immediately or revert individually to you. What they do is, if they get many such messages of the same kind, they take it up for fact checking and they'll put it on their website. The result will always be on the website. You will not get an individual response. You will not get immediate response, because this takes time, this takes efforts. But definitely, you can go to these websites and you'll find a number where you can just send the message. You can find email ID. You can find a WhatsApp number also where you can forward a fake message.
So then there is a compliment for you. Very good topic, nicely presented.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
There are three more questions.
Yeah.
How can we search the sites which are fake or steal data?
Okay. So I think it goes beyond the topic today. Maybe we can have a separate session on how to identify. Yeah, absolutely. Because this is also true, because a lot of messages come with a link of a website, which is fake. The website itself is fake, and the objective of the website is to steal your data or phishing. So Maitri, I mean, this is something for you. Maybe
Right.
you can organize another webinar on this.
Yes. We will definitely consider this and come up with a webinar for the same.
Because this is something which will take another 30, 45 minutes to explain.
Right.
So
right.
It's a topic for the next webinar. Yeah.
Great. Now, there's one question in respect of videos. How do you verify the correctness of the content?
No, you cannot. Definitely you cannot. And it takes technology tools to verify. So these companies, they have these tools by which they can verify whether the video is edited or it is put out of context. So I do not.
Case in point.
Yeah.
So case in point, this corona related message, the Disaster Management Act, where you're not supposed to forward jokes or even talk about corona. Same thing, there has been a video which is circulated and a policeman is shown who's talking about this, that we will come in. So in the same point, it is also that how do you verify whether this is actual message or not?
Okay, so what I would suggest is you go to one of these websites. So let me just quickly click on this, India Today, and let me see if there is any such report by India Today. The fact check behind every news. So the top viral posts which have been verified by India Today would definitely appear here. So this is one easy source. Apart from that, I do not think there is any way for a commoner to verify whether a video is valid or not. You see, all these are there. So this will take some time and effort. I mean, it's something which needs a little patience and little bit of research. You can see a clipped video. केजरीवाल के RSS के सदस्य होने की बात नहीं कबूली है. So about videos also, these fact checking companies. See, video का आपसे कोई संबंध नहीं है. So there are a lot of videos, here. So yeah, my advice to you is go to one of these fact checking websites, and chances are that you'll find the video which is viral and whether it's true or not, Yes, Maitri. Next one. Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. There's one more question is, how do you know the source of the fake message? Do we need to know the source of the fake message?
The very fact that you will not be able to know the source of the fact message is what is making it viral. So definitely you will not know the source of the fact message. Even these companies will not know the source of the fake message because WhatsApp is encrypted. It's end-to-end encrypted.
Okay, so mostly that is the case. Then there's one person who's asking whether you can put a fake stamp on fake message. That's not possible, right?
Fake stamp. So possibly he's asking.
You can flag it back as you've said in your presentation.
Okay. No, that was only for. No, that was only for representation purposes. You can actually write to him giving the link of one of these websites that the message that you sent was fake, and here are the facts. You please read. No, you cannot put a fake stamp on that. But you see, when you go to these websites, they actually do it. Let me go here. If I go here and see here, fact checked. They always put such stamp here, fact checked. So the best thing is to share the link of this article with the person who has sent it to you.
Okay, so now there's one question which is saying that, okay, there's one more question which is saying Zoom is also considered the site which steals data. So sir, Zoom, that is again, topic for another day. Because right now it's mostly not about information security. We will definitely take a webinar on this later on.
Correct.
One gentleman, sir, is asking whether you can elaborate point number 1 again.
Point number 1. Okay. Yeah, frequently forwarded. Yeah, so when you get a message, you look for this sign. There's a double arrow, gray color double arrow. This means that this message has been forwarded very frequently by several users. So chances are that it is fake. Again, let me repeat. It may be true, it may be fake, but there are more chances that it can be fake. So when you get any such message, just stop. Do some verification and then forward. Otherwise, best thing is not to forward.
Okay, so with this, mostly we are at the end of the session. There are a couple of compliments for you.
Thank you.
Okay, there is one question which is saying we are getting a message that Zoom is spying. Is this fake?
Just go to one of those websites and see, or do some research, you'll get the answer. I'm sure you'll get the answer.
Sir, you'll have to simply search. Mostly, whichever free softwares we use, sometimes take some of your data, but they are not really, compromising your data or something. It's just your usage data, which even if you're using Google, that might be taking. But this is again a topic for another day. Right now, related to this topic, I think you'll have to research because I don't think this is correct.
Correct. See, today we are only talking about fake messages on WhatsApp and how they become viral. So any app that you use, whether it's stealing data or you agreed to give them data while installing, is something which we can discuss in a separate webinar.
Yes, we can take an information security seminar in that. But currently, maybe, if you are getting such messages as a forward, you could maybe do some research before forwarding it again.
Perfect.
So with this, I think we will close. Thank you, Dinesh ji. You've been a wonderful speaker. We've received almost 15 to 20 compliments saying this is an amazing session. And yes, recording of this session will be available on Chambers YouTube channel in future. Okay. there's one question again. I'm just sorry. There's one question which
Yeah,
seems
sure,
important, Dinesh ji. If
Yeah.
some members post fake message, then all joint admins or all members of WhatsApp are punishable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is
So
something again, yeah. So I cannot answer this question, but definitely you can do the research on fact-fighting websites and you'll get the answer. I'm sure you'll get the answer, whether this is true or not.
again, going by what Dinesh ji already said, that if you're talking about something, you have been given this what you call leave to talk by Supreme Court. So talking about something will not make you punishable, or as a WhatsApp group admin, you won't be punishable by any law. It's just when it's a hate mongering message is when I think you might be held liable, right, Dinesh ji?
Yeah, absolutely. So go to this, the Quaint, WebCoop website. This is a very long report, very detailed report. You can see every aspect, So it will also mention, which are the areas or which are the posts which may make you liable for, action against certain laws. So yeah, it's not that, anything you post is fine. No. So there are cases where if you post some fake messages, and then you may be liable to some prosecution or some action by the police. So please go through this. This is a very long report. It will give you all the answers.
Wonderful. So even that doubt is clear that you're not scot. You cannot go scot free for
No, you cannot go
probably
spot free.
starting a rumor. Yes.
Yeah. The only thing is, a blanket ban on discussion is something which Supreme Court has very clearly said no. And secondly, the Disaster Management Act does not have any such clause or any such, act or any such provision. So this is what I wanted to convey, because suddenly, everybody yesterday stopped the communication on WhatsApp groups. So that is why I wanted to bring to the light.
Right. So once again, thank you, Dinesh ji, for such a wonderful session. We've received a lot of compliments, almost 20 plus messages saying that it's very nice information shared, cleared a lot of doubts. Understanding was very excellent and simple speech. So everybody's appreciating. Even I appreciate. Thank you, Dinesh ji, for starting and thinking of this session first of all. So and also for all the participants who've been participating and making it interactive, thank you very much. Please keep attending sessions whichever are being done by Chambers, and follow our Facebook and this WhatsApp channels. And with this we will just end the this seminar. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Maitri, Alok, and thank you all the audience for the wonderful participation.
Thank you, Dinesh ji. Thank you very much.